Yeah, what's up? I don't think anyone's gonna log in, but um, let's not beat around the bush. I called this, right? I got off the phone with I spoke to my dad. He did get out of 80%. So my dad's lack of communication with me, thank God. So I just covered the cues. If you don't know, if you're in options and you're gonna make some money on your options, what you should do is unwind the option by hedging yourself with the stock. So if you had the puts from yesterday at 207 at a dollar 40, I covered the Qs just now at $200.15 to lock into the profit. So obviously, if the market opens up down another 20% from here, I fucked up again. Obviously, the biggest fuck up so far of my career is getting out of the $230 calls. And again, if you'd think it's a coincidence that I personally was there to open the NASDAQ on Monday morning when the market finally crashes, come on, man. If you don't believe we're in a simulated reality now, then I don't know what else can prove it to you. There I was, laughing on TV while the market's burning, as I called it Thursday night. Everything led into this. My Thursday night, I got stopped out of the futures trade. Then Friday morning, my computer didn't work, and I had to chase the QQQ put into Monday morning when I wasn't there to trade my own account. And then the crucial mistake was when the Qs got back to 220 on Wednesday, when we rallied off the open. That was the chance to reload at a really good price. But here's the thing, you could have reloaded yesterday with 207s for a buck. I wound up paying a dollar 40 and they went to 340. So when you see something that you bought for a dollar 40 go to 340, my nature as a trader is to take profit. And obviously I hold some. But here's what I wanted to say. They're still considering cutting interest rates to save the market. If they cut interest rates, the market's going to open up down 5,000 points on Monday. It's not going to work. Again, this is a pandemic that started an algorithmic sell off. They're finally talking about how, a few people on CNBC were just talking about how that it's not real. Finally, somebody admitted it, that it's not real, right? So it's not real on the way up. The stock market wasn't going up because of the economy and because these companies make numbers, have great earnings. One price triggers the algorithm to keep buying, right? And they keep buying. So on the way down, it's the same thing. So once you got past the 230 on the QQQ, there was nothing there to prevent it from going down to 218. It's only a 12-point move. Because it's on the index, it seems so much more frightening because you don't see indexes. If this was a $230 stock that went to 200, nobody would give a shit. But because it's the QQQ, an index usually doesn't do this, but it's not a big deal. The real selling finally started when we broke 218. The market rallied so much that the froth had to come off first. Tesla wasn't supposed to go to 1,000. Apple wasn't supposed to go to 330. Microsoft wasn't supposed to go to 200. So now we're back to where we should be. The real selling could begin Well, the real selling began yesterday, in my opinion. Just like the market when it was going up, the real move happens after we break out and we hit blue sky breakouts. So this on the way down, all we did was give back the move that we had from October. It's all algorithms, the whole entire market. That's why VWAP works so well. And that's why you bought the Qs just now at $200 and 25 and 14 cents, because it's a computer program. Do you think there are people out there right now, like me, waking up at 5 in the morning, looking at trade? Ooh, the Qs are at this price. Let me buy them here. No, it's a computer program. Once they broke over 214 cents, the computer starts to buy it. So once you got to 198, that was an algorithmic level. And the buying started at 198. So now if we break 198, we're going down 20 more points. Yeah, that 20 more points. You know, the sickest part about this whole thing, when you look back now, well, I called it, but I'm a fucking schmuck because I took profits yesterday and I went long a couple of times. I mean, I sold the UVXY. I mean, the UVXY, if you're in from 14 bucks and your options are worth $3, that's you've won the bet. Take the money, right? The one good thing about this, if you want to say there's something good here, we're going to go back up. It's all fake anyway, right? The real concern is it real? Is the disease real? Or is it going to come here? Are we going to have friends that die? You know, that's real. Then again, I mean, I was at a funeral yesterday. I was at a wake yesterday. I got to go to a funeral. The question is, do I leave and go to this funeral? I mean, it's one of my best friend's father-in-law. I don't think anybody else is going. I don't think you'd believe me if I told you I bought the Qs at 200. I should have probably went long at this point. But if people start dying from this disease here, that shit's real. So I still think Ebola was a lot more scary, right? Yeah, well, we broke over VWAP. It's the same thing as always. If we got past the Ebola scare, Ebola melts your body. This is a combination of the market being brought to an extremely high level. So then we could drop it on its head. And that stock is just the stupidest thing in the world. It would have made more sense if it just would have sold off on the earnings report, but they waited for it and they waited for it and they waited for it. And it's like when I wasn't paying attention finally to space, that's when it crashed. That kind of sucked. Like I was laughing about it because I had QQQ short and space long. That's all I had. And I couldn't believe that the stock was still up. So I had to appreciate that. You bucking the trend, you continue to buck the trend. Why not continue to buck the trend? But once it broke $29.10, that was it. Here's another thing. The markets never bounce on Fridays. You just don't, unless there's a government interaction where they're saying we're going to buy the market. We're going to put $2 trillion into the market right now. We just don't bounce on Fridays. Fridays are usually bloodbaths because nobody wants to stay short. Nobody wants to be courageous over the weekend. So normally we're not going to get a real bounce, but we'll see. It's all about the UVXY. And the bottom line is there were options to buy, and it was just a matter of how much money you had to gamble. I mean, we all gamble, right? You put $300 on the Ravens over the Tennessee Titans, right? Why not put $300 on QQQ puts yesterday, right? It's the same thing. And if you bet $300 on a football game, all you win is $300. Here you win $2,100. I think the reason people don't buy options is they don't want to lay out the money immediately. They'd rather get into the trade, then start losing. When people buy options, they think, all right, that money's going to be gone. I got some guys. Well, I don't know whether I'm not going to go to this funeral. And I'm supposed to be at a funeral soon. The way I look at it is when you buy the option, then that's it. You've got nothing left to worry about. You're going to make money or you're going to lose money. You can't lose any more than you put up. See, last week, the $230 calls that I bought were expensive. Buying a $230 call on a Friday for $3 was expensive, but you also had a week to go. So that's why I started selling them on Monday. My cost average was 250. They opened up at 750 exactly. I was like, ooh, symmetry. I sold some at 750, sold some at 850. all in all, guys can hear me, I guess, all right. But I forgot what it was already at this point. But I mean, doubling your money on options this week has been easy, really. There was a earnings reversal yesterday. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it doesn't matter now. Think about this. Want to hear something? Want to hear something crazy? My guy, one of our guys in the room, right? He's like, "What do you think about APT?" So I was like, "It's going up on the fear, so you should take something off the table." The guy had APT, APT. Imagine that. I mean, this stock was $1.25. It's at $23 now. APT, he was in from 750. And I was like, hey, look, if it goes to 10, that's probably a nice trade. And the thing I said, and I got a text last night, why'd you tell me to sell? So I scrolled back onto the text and I said, sell half. That's the answer to everybody. That's the answer to all your questions. Sell half. Sell half. Sell half. Because then if it rolls over and dies, at least you've sold half and you'll turn it into maybe a break even trade or you'll sell on the way back down. If you sell half and it goes up another 100%, at least you have half. Sell half. Because $40 APT, really? You know what's funny? The thing is, APT, I think that's the one that makes the masks themselves. They don't have any masks. So it's not like they're going to make any money. They've run out. So if anything, they're going to have a bad quarter. Nice. I was just going to mention UVXY. See how the matrix works? The old UVXY would be at $190 right now. I wish they would let me on CNBC as the voice of reality. Why do you think we're going to go down? Because if we break 218, we're going to go to 198. Why? Because the computers have taken over the stock market in 2009. 100%. See, the thing is now, if I was on CNBC talking all that stuff, right? Now there's no denying it. Now you can't disprove all the things I've been saying about the market not in the hands of humans anymore, right? 230 got you 218, 218 got you 198. It's all computer programmed. By the way, Netflix, man. Did I say Netflix? I meant to say Tesla. That was the end of the market. When that stock went from 500 to 1,000 in 3 weeks, that was it. When they write the book about this, then they'll look at the Tesla move, the space move, and then I believe, for me, it was Cybercock and Lumber Liquidators. When those two stocks went up 100%, come on. You don't get, when the shittiest stocks on the planet when they start to double. I don't think anybody would believe some of the shit that happened to me. Now, I mean, again, the decision yesterday, how many puts do you buy, right? How much risk do you want to take? I could have put $17,000 worth of puts. I just chose not to. So now those options, my original options now, with the 230s for 250. So let's say they went to $30 basically. 250, 250 to 330. Crazy. So it's a 12 bagger right at this point. This child, he had his hand cut off, and all these little hands and feet. I I wept It wept like a small child. Horror. At least I don't own GE and US Steel anymore. So assuming I would have held my GE and US Steel positions right now, I'd be down 50 grand. So I guess I could look at that as a positive too, right? My dad finally felt the pain at 220. He finally called. I finally spoke to him. I'm like, how the hell are you still in this shit? He's like, I sold. He doesn't. He like tells me 3 days later what he's doing. But when the Dow hits 1880, when the Dow goes back to 1880, if we go to 18,800, if we go back and give back the whole Trump move, then if we're sitting there, we're going to have to buy. I mean, if the Dow goes down another 8,000 points from here, we'll buy something. I wish space was shortable. Would have had some fun with that. I sold $60 calls for $9.20. That's my cost average now. I went out all the way to the last contract in the last year. I think I'm the whole open interest now. Open interest. I'm a oh no. I'm a 16th. I'm a sixth of the open interest on those contracts. I'm going to be more today. I'm still selling them. I'm selling the January. Actually, I'm going to sell the January 2021s too. Oh boy. Well, all in all, I left about $3 million on the table. Not a good feeling. I could have retired. Or I wouldn't have retired, but I'd be sitting here in a lot more casual frame of mind if I just made 3 million this week. I've been waiting for this move since 2012. I had 108,000 QQQ that day. And this time I have 300. Oh man. That's the saddest part. Imagine if I would have taken the position, if I had the same balls in the same position I had in January, in that June, man. So I don't know. Let's do some math. How about 108,000 shares for 30 points, right? 108,000 I had 1,000 puts and 8,000 short, right? Times 30. It's 3.2 mil. Yeah, so basically, that'd have been a good week. I mean, I wouldn't have held the whole time I'd been covering, but let's say I would have made 2 million. I am. I am. I bought the. You can trade the Qs now too. Yeah, and that's the sickest part of the whole thing. I put an NQ trade on Thursday, last Thursday, and it rallied 70 points and got me out because I put a stop on when I went to sleep. I woke up, it was gone. So, oh man, all right, I'm gonna go hibernate for a bit. Is there a way you can't switch screens anymore, right? Hey, look at that. What do these buttons do? There was a way to switch the screen. Used to be able to switch to the screen from here. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. No, we have plenty of time. Thursday night. Thursday night, we saw the writing on the wall. Friday was the follow through. No reason I want to stay long over the weekend. The signs were there. We were selling off on Fridays for the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you guys want to look at a blank screen, but I'm gonna go. I'll be back in a little bit. Yeah. Hey, by the way, if anybody wants to learn about VWAP, we're having a class tomorrow. We just held support. Wow. I could make another move up from here. This is a pivot point right here. If I fall asleep, I'll wake up in a little while. It's the Sleeping Trader channel. breakout. Thanks for signing up. Is that one of you guys? Thanks for signing up. Class is tomorrow. Hey, Saunders Jones. Hey, I called it. By the way, I have a Range Rover, a Porsche, a Challenger, and I own 3 homes now. You want to join the room? I know you want me to show you pictures of my cars. I have 8 wives, 19 kids, 13 Rolexes. You gonna come join the room yet? Why don't you come join the class that I'm giving on Saturday? I'll show you how I predicted this last crash. Anyway, I'll see you at 8 o'clock. All right. I'm gonna reload the room. I gotta go refresh. Saunders Jones. Saunders Jones. I wait by the phone for 3 years waiting for you to tell me that you're gonna come listen to me. By the way, Gail, if you're out there, Glenn Kessler, if you're out there, Jimmy, you could have made all your money back already from the Yex trade. Who else is there? Angela. Uh, where's Bang 'em and Leave 'em? Joe Just Joe. Duff Buffett's disciple. Malice. Where are you guys? I'm still here. It's been 12 years now. You ain't never getting rid of me. I'll see you in about an hour or 2 hours. Be careful out there now, kids.